Peachtree Chapter 2. We're going to take a closer look now at the vendor ledgers. So if we look at vendors and purchasers, what we want to find out is what about the transactions for each of these vendors? How do we actually pull up information? Well, we start by going to reports and forms, and if they are vendors, well, they will be under the accounts payable forms, so we will look at that. And here we are, we go down the list and we go to the vendor's ledgers. So we open those, and this one shows us then all the transactions that have taken place for this period, January the 1st, 2009 to January the 31st, 2009. We can go into any one of these. For example, if we remember doing our purchase for our sleeping bags on the 15th of the 1st, let me just have a look at that. So I'm going to take the magnifying glass, and this is called drilling down to the transaction. There we are, it pulls up our transaction and it shows that at that point we owed $27.50. We had a discount of $55 and we paid them that amount. So that's drilling down, finding our information out of the vendor's ledger. What else can we do? Well, let's look at the options here. We can change the period here. If we change it to the current one and then click on OK, of course this shouldn't have been, we are this year to date, January 2010, there shouldn't be any transactions here. So when I go to OK, I ought to get a blank sheet up. And there we are, that we brought forward a balance for David Dash of $412.50, but the others are all blank. In other words, there haven't been any transactions. So let's look at the options again, and we will take that back to that period, which was in January, and we can select a filter. In other words, we don't need all of these. So we could look at just pulling out David Dash, and let's take the vendor ID, click for David Dash, there we are, that should do, and now then go to OK, and there we are, we just have now the information for David Dash Fabrics. So that's using the vendor's ledger. If we go to the columns, we can see the information here being pulled up column by column. We can select how much we want in terms of the information. Do we want to show the contact, the telephone number? Let's take out the transaction type. We just pull that down so that you see how we've got purchase journal, cash disbursements journal. That's what PJ means, purchasers journal, CDJ, cash disbursements journal. So if I take out the type here, there we are, and if we then apply that and say OK, it should have, but it didn't. Well, we'll leave it at that. We'll have a look at that later.